Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. And this week I got 10 comics. The 4 that were missing from last week, that accounts for 10. Plus, I wanted to tell you that this week's Friday night show, The Cavern of Chaos, is going to be over on Tim Howlermouse's channel, starting at 6 like usual. I might be running around that night. I'm not quite sure what my schedule is, but I'll be showing up when I can. But show up if you want to see the show on Tim's channel. I'll put a link down below. Howler Mouse. You can put Howler Mouse into, but I assume you're subscribed to him too. But we'll be over there. First, we'll show you top of the printer books this week. We've got Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four Marvel Team Up issue 100. And this is Frank Miller, and who inks him on this one? It's Jansen. It's Klaus Jansen. Miller and Jansen cover. Always liked that cover. Very cool. Then this one, it's funny. I just saw, who was it? Loading the Cannon had an issue of this that he was showing off in one of his hauls this week. This is They Were Chosen to Be Survivors, number 3. Who's Steve Warren and B. Lewis on that one. This is one of the first indie books I collected back in the early 80s. I think there was a preview issue that was magazine size, and then 4 issues of They Were Chosen to Be Survivors. And I think a little bit later there were 2 issues of a book just called Survivors, which was the continuation. It was a post-apocalyptic book. Back in the days when there weren't a ton of post-apocalyptic books. But there was the 2 covers I had on the top of my printer to look at all week. Now let's see, got 2 comic shop news this week, because one didn't come in last week, I guess. We got 1823 and 1822. I guess this is last week's. Last week's was Fantastic Four and Miracle Man. We'll look through that one to see what it is. And this week's is Vampirella and more Vampirella. Always like to look through these and see what's up, what's coming out. And matter of fact, the one book I pulled off the shelf this week was because of that. But let's start with nice one here. This is Grimm number 3. Number 3. I enjoyed, I finally put this one on my pull list. Got the first 2 issues and enjoyed it. It's about this woman who's a Grim Reaper. There's a bunch of them. And then stuff happened, and now people can see her who weren't supposed to. I like the art in it. Don't know what, the story's just starting, so I don't quite know what's going on. Besides, there's a whole bunch of They explained a lot of what the Grim Reapers do in the first issue. But it really comes down to somebody messed with her scythe, and then she went back to Earth, and people could see her, and you're not supposed to be able to see Grim Reapers, so that messed with some sort of Grim Reaper stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Then we've got Ice Cream Man, issue number 31, a scale, sort of a poem. Always a fun book, Prince Morazzo and O'Halloran. Written by Maxwell Prince, art by Martine Morazzo, colors by Chris O'Halloran, and lettering by good old Neon. But I always enjoy these Ice Cream Men. They're all kind of done in one, horror stories that are just bizarre and strange at times, and often they have some theme going through the book, like the Dr. Seuss one reminds me of a kid's book. They come up with some theme. And I guess this one is a poem is the theme. We'll have to see. And another one that was supposed to be in last week is the Silver Coin number 12. Who's written every month. This is drawn by Michael Walsh, and there's a new writer every month. This month's writer is Stephanie Phillips. So there's usually Roos. It's a horror book. It's a horror anthology. There's not a lot of continuity between the issues, which is okay with me. The just sort of main theme is there's this silver coin, and someone gets this silver coin, and then evil and mayhem happen. That's not the word I was looking for, but there we go. But yeah, the artwork and storytelling is always really nice. Michael Walsh is an excellent artist, so I enjoy this. Matter of fact, this one was originally supposed to be a 6-issue mini, but I guess it sold well enough and they were enjoying doing it. Then the last one that was supposed to be out last week is Shaolin Cowboy, subtitle Cruel to be Kin in number 3. I've been enjoying this one. Shaolin Cowboy is short on plot and long on imagination and detailed artwork. Just this crazy story about the Shaolin Cowboy fighting this guy for issue after issue. This guy who's got all sorts of used birds as weapons. I don't know, using a lizard as a weapon. Here's the guy he's fighting. This guy with this giant head. I think he was up in a balloon or something. It's weird. It's really weird. But the visual imagination is quite amazing in this book. So, let me see if I can get a good shot of that guy. Oh, there. He's not in a balloon. He's riding that many tentacled jellyfish thing. That's what he's riding. All right. And then somehow all 3 of these Radiant Black comics have synced up. I don't think they were originally all coming out the same week. But we've got Radiant Black, number 16. Who does this? Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark are the writers. Marcelo Costa is the artist. The colorist is Triona Farrell, and the letterer is Diego Sanchez. But fun superhero story. Got their own little universe going. These guys are supposed to be in their 30s, too. I keep thinking they're teenagers because they're kind of drawn like the guy in Invincible draws. And they have these suits that give them power that they don't know where they came from, what the overall point of them is. And then we've got Radiant Red, who was originally appeared in Radiant Black. This is your 5 of 5, so this is a mini that ended by the writer is Cherish Chen, the artist is David Lafuente, the colorist Miguel Muerto, and the letterer, once again, Diego Sanchez. But she got the red suit, Radiant Red, and got herself in trouble when she first got it because her life was in such disarray and she needed money. And I'm not sure what to call this weird, everybody looks like children on occasions. They don't always, that's a full-grown woman. She doesn't always look like that, but I don't know what that style is. Like, occasionally in some panels, all of a sudden, everyone's really small. And in other panels, they're not. I don't know what that is, but now she got because she robbed banks, some bad guys found out who she was, and now she's they're blackmailing her into pulling this heist, which she doesn't really want to do. So that's what this is about. And at the end of last issue, they double-crossed her. So it's going to end with her getting out of that double-cross. Then the third Radiant Black book is Rogue Sun. This is issue number 6. This is its own superhero book, where Rogue Sun has his own super. I guess everybody has super suits in this universe, even if they don't come by. But it was his father. There he is, right there. Rogue Sun. His father was Rogue Sun, a big superhero in the world, but his father was recently killed, and he inherited the suit. And now he's trying to be a superhero. Meanwhile, he and his father were estranged, so he didn't like it because his father divorced his mother, and he's got the AI in his suit is his father, so he's got this ongoing tension with his own superhero suit. Meanwhile, we find out later on that his mother, I don't know if she may have been the one who killed his father, but she doesn't want him in the superhero suit, and she's a superhero too, fighting him. So it got real weird in the last issue or two. But we'll see. This is another continuing one, so it's not a mini. Let's see, what else do we have? A Righteous Thirst of Vengeance, issue number 10. I think last issue was like our breather issue, where they taught us how to make fish tacos. There was like 5 pages dedicated to making us fish tacos. But this artist, what's his name again? Andre Lima Araujo, is really good. He's a really good storyteller. He really knows how to break down moments into panels, and it's been a really violent series. So it looks, as I flipped, I don't want to spoil anything for you or me. As I flip through, it looks like he's getting back to being really violent after our rest last issue. So Definitely good stuff. Let's see what else we have. We've got Image Anthology, issue 4 of 12. An anthology book, lots of Image stuff. Jeff Johns, his is going all 12 issues. Up something in here by Maria Lovett. This that's going to be part 1 of 3. Shift by Kyle Higgins and is writing it, and a bunch of Daniel DiNucquello, Walter That's a Radiant Black tie-in to. Shift is a villain from the Radiant Black universe. It's the conclusion of Shift, so it's been 4 parts. Another conclusion, Stupid Fresh. Another. There's a Scotty Young and Nate Picos is doing the letters on it. Scotty Young's got like a 2-page strip every issue. Couple other things continue. Brennan Fletcher, Son Lu, Erica Henderson, Hopeless, Conclusion, Genna. Dean Haspiel has the back page every issue. There's the complete list if you want to look it over. There's the first part. But it's been fun. I like anthology stuff. I'm not a big fan of Squarebound, though, but oh well. And here's the one I picked off the shelf. Blink, issue number 1. Like that cover by Oni Press. I don't see a lot of Oni Press books, but this was featured, I think, 3 weeks ago in Comic Shop Weekly, which I got down there, and that's what brought this to my attention. I said, "Oh, that sounds pretty good," but by the time it was in Comic Shop Weekly, final order cutoff had passed. So I was like, "Well, if they have any shelf copies of it, I'll buy it." I even forget what it was about. I read the description 3 weeks ago and liked it, and liked the look of the artwork. Who's doing this one? Written by Christopher Sabella, illustrated by Hayden Sherman, colored by Nick Filardi, and lettered by Frank Cvetkovic. Don't got Frank's last name. Sorry, Frank. Cvetkovic. Chick. It ends with a chick. But yeah, we'll see how good this one is. Comic Shop News sold me an issue. Now, let me show you a little of my artwork. I actually did a big ink drawing this week. The first one I've done in a month, and I've only done 2 of this year. But what's funny is I also finished this Dreams of Things, which I put on there, and I'm like, wow, these kind of fit with each other if I cover up half her face. But there's my big ink drawing. Whoops, I got 2 of them. We'll bring it closer so you can see some of the line work on there. Lots of little spirals. Those lines I make with my parallel rule machine. My parallel line maker. I just kind of wanted to make one. It was one of those things where I kind of wanted to make one, but I always had an excuse not to. So finally, last weekend, I said, I'm just going to start one. So I did, and I ended up finishing it. So I enjoyed it. Like I said, I also made, this is Dreams of Things. What number do we have? 145. Just sort of this mad half face, which I like the way that green face came out with all the weird shading in. Like this is my side of the brush rough ink technique, so the coloring had to fit in with it and be rough too. But yeah, I kind of like the way those two fit together. Makes an interesting little piece. They don't fit exactly, but they fit pretty darn well together. Alrighty, there you go. Some artwork, some comics. You guys have a good week out there.